Hello, and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 7th grade concept of solving rate problems. This is standard 7.4D in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 16 of the 2030 released STAAR test. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and then we will look at our answers together. So we have a boat that's traveling 27 miles in 2 hours. At this rate, how many miles will the boat travel in just half an hour? So when we see rate, we should be thinking of this right here, y equals kx. So that's our basic equation for rate. So x is where we started, and that is going to be our independent variable. And so that's what we start with. And so what are we in control of? Well, we're in control of how fast we're going. So I'm going to make this 2k. I'm going to replace my x with 2 and then just kind of flip them using the commutative property because that looks a little bit better. We know that our k is our constant here, and in this case it is our constant of proportionality. So that's going to be my rate change. That's really what we're looking for. Constant of proportionality. My y is going to be the dependent variable, and this changes based on what we do with that constant. And in this case, going 2 hours only gets me 27 miles. So if I'm wanting to figure out this k, I'm going to use that because I'm going to use that for this half hour. Well, we know how to isolate, right? We just go ahead and divide both sides by 2, and what I ended up doing here was divided both sides by my x, which is my independent variable, which if you look on your mathematics chart, you will actually see this equation, k equals y over x, and that's how we get it. So my constant of proportionality, let me go and flip it to this side so it looks a little bit more normal, is 27 over 2, so it's 13 and a half. I'll go ahead and make it 13.5. Show it both ways. Now, how does that help me? Well, I want to figure out how many miles the boat will travel. Remember, my miles is my dependent variable. So I'm going to say y equals, I now know my constant because I'm keeping the same rate, 13.5. And then I know that I traveled in half an hour. So that's my x. That is my independent variable. So I'm just going to do it by a half. And so I just need to multiply 13.5 times a half. Let's go ahead and make that 13.5 times 0.5. Lots of decimals there, but that's fine. We'll make that happen. 13.5 times 0.5, that's 25. That's 15. That's going to be 17. And that's 5, that's 6. 2 digits behind the decimal in my factor, so 2 digits behind the decimal. So there we go. 6.75. We know that's 6 75 hundredths. And if we divide that by 25s, because those think of quarters like that, it's going to be 6 3/4. So we see that answer is G. There is another way to do this. You probably saw the 3 numbers and made a proportion. That also works. Watch this. 2 hours over 27 miles equals, I'm going to say my y miles, just need a variable there, and I get half an hour. And we just do a little cross multiplication, right? So 2y equals 27 times 1/2. So 2y equals 13.5, and look at that. We've already done that. Divided both sides by 2. 13.5 divided by 2, guess what? That's the same thing as 13.5 times 0.5 because they're inverse, they're reciprocal. So we still get our answer of G, 6 3/4.